very often asked by clients and people in general what they should be reading in order to become a better leader. Now, depending upon when you're watching this video, you may or may not be able to acquire the book at the top of the list, which is mine, High Stakes Leadership. I hope you'll get it, and I hope you find it meaningful and enjoyable. The reading list I have, that you can also find on my website, starts with a terrific book called Drive. One-word title. It's by Dan Pink. Dan is a writer and just a heck of a nice guy, very funny in a very low-key way. If you ever have the chance to see him speak, you should grab it because he communicates so beautifully and so clearly. One of the reasons that I recommend the book Drive is because Dan accesses very good original research on motivation. And the research on motivation dispels the myth that people are coin-operated. They're not. Motivation is more complicated than that, but it's not difficult to understand. Dan has an ability to take scientific research and make it not only useful, but also entertaining in a way that is purely astonishing. The second book is called Mindset, and it's by Carol Dweck, a researcher who looks at intelligence. Now, before you hit stop on this video and say, that sounds so boring, Constance. It can be boring, but what Carol does is she dispels this notion that intelligence is both fixed and unitary. She helps us understand that we can become smarter, if you will. I mean, there are limits to this, obviously, but that we can increase our intellectual capability and that intelligence is multifactorial. We can be good at some things and pretty bad at other things and still be quite intelligent. And I can tell you from personal experience that I'm pretty good at some things and pretty terrible at others, and I do all right. The third book is Influence by Robert Cialdini. It's The Science and Practice is the subtitle. Robert is a professor emeritus at Arizona State University and just a heck of a nice guy and a terrific researcher. He is the expert on influence. If you want to know more about influence, you've got to read his books. I would start with this one, but there's a recent one called Persuasion, and he's a great writer, a wonderful guy. If you, again, somebody else, if you have a chance to see him, go see him. He's really quite engaging, and I want to thank him here for allowing me to interview him for my book. The fourth book is Originals by Adam Grant. Now, if you watch any of the videos on my website or if you subscribe to my newsletter, you may have seen a video where I talk about Originals and Warby Parker, the eyeglass company where I got these very cool glasses. And Adam is a professor at Wharton who does really interesting research and talks about it in a way that is so engaging that you forget that you're reading research. And he's on TV a lot. He's really fun to watch. The next book is a lot heavier read. It's called Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. Daniel Kahneman is the only psychologist to ever be awarded a Nobel in economics. He and his research partner, Amos Tversky, did groundbreaking research that became very foundational for the field of behavioral economics. He's a terrific writer, and if you get the book, get the Audible version also so that you can go back and forth. It's dense, but it's really, really worth the effort. It's been pivotal in my own practice. The next book is Learned Optimism by Martin Seligman. How to Change Your Mind and Your Life. This book is so pragmatic that you can immediately pick out things that you can put to use right away. Like Carol Dweck's work on intelligence, Seligman takes apart the notion of optimism and shows us what the dimensions of optimism are and helps us see where we are on those dimensions and what we can do about it. The final book, for now, this list will grow, is actually not a book. It's an article. It's called Judgment Under Uncertainty, Heuristics and Biases. and it is by the aforementioned Tversky and Kahneman research dynamic duo. It is one of the most cited academic articles that's ever been written. It's not that long, but it's very insightful and really worth your read. So stay tuned. I'll be adding to this reading list both on my website and with videos.